Protesters gathering at a San Diego beach today demanding it be reopened. In Georgia, salons, barbershops, and gyms back open this weekend. Several other states set to ease restrictions this week. At the same time, Americans still lining up for food. These images from Chelsea, Massachusetts.
Across the country, demonstrators rallying, armed protesters in St. Paul, and scenes like this in Providence and Las Vegas.
I want to get our economy back opened just as soon as we can, but I want to do so in a safe way.
Michigan's governor defending her extension of the state's stay-at-home order to May 15th.
We know that no one wants a second wave. It would be devastating for the health of our people and for our economy. And so we've got to be really smart as we re-engage.
Where do I get the money to put gas in my car? Where do I get the money to buy groceries or pay for car insurance?
With an upcoming missed paycheck, we will be missing payments on our bills. We've had to resort to selling items around our house.
It's a smack in the face. I'm really tired of feeling like a bargaining chip for a fight that's not mine.
Stop the shutdown!
Some of the 800,000 federal workers who have been told to stay at home have chosen instead to protest. They have now gone 3 weeks without being paid, and the strain is showing.
We want to work! We want to work!
Darryl Floyd desperately needs his salary. It pays for the medical bills for his wife who has cancer, and he is in no doubt that the president is to blame.
Because he never was an employee, he always had it, a silver spoon in his mouth. But he don't understand, people that needs their job and supporting, and when people get sick, it seems to me he doesn't care. So I think he should be fired. Even though he's my boss, I think he should be fired.
And those at the very bottom of the government pay structure, the cleaners, the guards, the janitors, are facing real distress.
We need to raise our voice and we need to stop right now. We need to work. We don't want to be homeless. We need to survive.
No more food banks, they need paychecks. No more food banks, they need paychecks. No more food banks.
Braving freezing temperatures, hundreds of furloughed U.S. government employees and contractors gathered at a congressional office building to protest a prolonged government shutdown. A quarter of federal agencies have been closed. Some 800,000 federal employees have been left without pay for more than a month.
We're hopeful that someone's listening today and that they can encourage the president and the Republican Party to cut this out and get people back to work.
I felt that it was important for the federal employees to be heard. I don't feel like enough has been heard from us, the actual people that's being affected by the shutdown.
You feel helpless not being able to work to earn your pay, and I just wanted people to know that this is affecting people and it's impacting real lives.
Federal employees are dedicated. We want to serve the public.
Stop playing politics with our lives. End this lockout. Open the government. Do your job so we can do our job.
Well, for my family, what it'll mean is that we'll have to start dipping into savings, very likely today or tomorrow. And with an unknown length of the shutdown, it's hard to say how that will affect us in the long run.
If you can plan that I'm going to be out of work for a certain amount of time, you can do something. Right now, we just have no idea.
The longer this lasts, the worse it's going to get.
Several Washington businesses are taking action in a show of solidarity with the affected government employees. One business is Oyamel, a Mexican restaurant in the city's Chinatown neighborhood. Visitors with a federal employee ID can enjoy a free sandwich for dining in or takeout.
So we have a torta suadero. So it's a very classic Mexican sandwich made with a brisket, meat, a few vegetables, some Mexican mayonnaise on it. It's a delicious sandwich.
With just a government ID, customers can enjoy a free burger, no questions asked, at this Z-Burger outlet that is owned and operated by Peter Tabibian, an Iranian immigrant.
But in 2013, we gave out over 15,000 burgers with it's almost $40,000 to $50,000. We feel bad for the government workers, and a lot of our customers are government workers. If everybody pitches in and helps out, it will put a smile on their face.
It's my job, it's my livelihood, it's how I put food on the table for my children.
When Sarah Watterson left work on New Year's Eve, she still had a job, but no sense of security.
So you have to go to your landlord and say, I don't know how I'm going to pay you. I've never had to do that.
How does it feel for someone who has a full-time job, works for the federal government, to have to go to their landlord and ask for, I don't even know what to call it,
mercy?
The mother of two is the family's primary breadwinner. She received her last paycheck at the end of December. Have you started thinking about where you might save if this shutdown goes longer?
We're trying to cut the grocery bills just down to the necessities. I mean, we don't live extravagantly, so it's hard to cut out any bills.
Do your kids sense that something's going on?
Absolutely. They want to know why there aren't certain foods in the house. They want to know why we can't go out to eat.
She's frustrated because she can't fix this. She can't plan for this. Right now, they've paid their January bills, most of them. But for February, that's going to be the struggle. She has $300 in her bank account right now. Her husband is still getting paid, but his salary doesn't cover the family expenses. She says February 1st is their end date. That is the time where they won't be able to survive past that without getting help from family members or trying to figure out if she's going to have to take on temporary work.
We've set up an emergency relief kitchen here in the city to support those workers affected by the government shutdown. For the first time in their lives, many of them are having to stand in line for a plate of food. They're hardworking Americans who serve their government, and they are now not able to provide for themselves or their families. So many of them are about to miss a second paycheck. They still have to pay their rents and food, and many of them are struggling because they're not getting paid.